Hi, my name's Cathrine-Mette Mork, and I run an eponymous YouTube channel called Mork Sensei. I actually started my channel way back in 2009, and my intent was to record and upload my students' presentation videos so they could self-evaluate their work. And of course, this was before smartphones with video were readily available. Sadly, this was at a period when digital student privacy was a beginning concern for administrators, and even though YouTube brought out privacy features, my YouTube endeavors were shut down, and I didn't use it for years after that. When the MOOC era started, I took a few courses which required me to produce videos, so I used my channel again then. But the real start of my channel was in the spring of 2019, I think, when I created some CLIL content, or Content Language Integrated Learning, for a course I was teaching with Jared Diamond's Guns, Germs, and Steel. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed creating those videos, and also by how many people beyond just my students were watching it. And it dawned on me that I should start creating regular content. So that's what I did. My target audience is my own students for given courses and intermediate EFL, ESL learners. My content is in English and on a variety of CLIL topics, but my focus initially has been learning strategies and study skills.
The name of my YouTube channel is my name, Mark Kulik. I started my channel in 2011. My content focuses on vocabulary, patterns, chunks of language. My target audience, they are beginning adults, lower level people who want to speak English.
Hi, my name is Steve Quasha, and the name of my YouTube channel is Single Step English. I started the channel in 2015, and the content is ESL, or EFL here in Japan, and I think the target audience would be a level of lower intermediate, upper beginner perhaps, to upper intermediate level. Initially, I thought my users would be based here in Japan, but actually most of my users are outside of Japan.
Hello, my name is Kenny King, and I have several YouTube channels actually, but my main channel is called Maple Leaf Learning. I established the channel about 12 years ago, I guess, in 2000, I think. My main focus was for teachers and for parents and for children. I started making children's music back then because at the time there wasn't so much stuff available. Now there's been a huge influx of new materials out there, and YouTube is quite overloaded with materials now, not like the old days. But I started off making music out of necessity. I didn't really think about making money at the time. It was just simply my hobby, and I stumbled across it at a right time. And yeah, it was just fun, and it kind of grew into a second business. So.
I started my channel for three main reasons. First, I already had another channel that was getting a few peanuts worth of Google Ads income, and I thought there might be a bigger potential with the EFL market. Although my EFL channel is still not monetized, I still think that's true. My second reason is simply that I enjoy the whole process of video creation. It's proving to be a very rewarding creative outlet. And the third reason is simply to serve my audience. Students ask me the same questions over and over again, so I thought it would be a good idea to be able to refer them to a video I made. I also use the platform for delivering some course content. A key point is that my channel didn't start out with any grand plan. It just evolved over time, and I imagine it will continue to do so. My other active YouTube channel started off with me doing handbag reviews and refurbishments, and now I do fragrance reviews. I was always more interested in the latter, but it took time for me to develop the confidence to do that.
I started my channel because I wanted my students to be able to review at home, and so that the parents could see what we were doing in the classroom. When I started my channel, I had a kids' English school, and so I wanted them to practice more, and I wanted their parents to see what we were doing in the classroom. And how I went about it, I placed a video camera on a tripod, I placed pattern cards with vocabulary on a table, and just started and focused the camera down on the table and just read the cards out loud, patterns and vocabulary, and that's how it began.
The reason I started the channel was to supplement YouTube activities with my textbook, A Single Step to English Communication. Shameless plug, I know. Anyway, that was really the main reason I wanted to start a YouTube channel. So I printed QR codes in the textbook, maybe 1 or 2 of them in each unit, and that way the students could review the vocabulary or learn about the key grammar points in context. I guess the way that I went about starting the channel was I just used my iPhone and got good lighting, just experimented so my face wasn't shaded, and it was trial and error. And I watched other YouTube videos, and that really helped me out.
Again, as I said, I started off making children's music, and I stumbled across YouTube, and I thought that YouTube was a great way to promote the music and also to make videos for my children to study at home. I wanted my students to be able to have something to do at home to increase the amount of English that they would be exposed to.
In an ideal world, I would post at least weekly, but I often find that pretty much impossible due to other commitments, one being my other channel. I'm aware that I'm setting myself up for burnout by trying to run 2 channels while working full-time. My goal is to post once a week. My videos are typically between 5 and 10 minutes long, and I've read that most people have a hard time focusing more than 8 minutes on anything taxing, that is, which is why Pecha Kucha presentations are around 7 minutes. That said, if your videos are more than 10 minutes, you can at least double the amount of Google ads on them if you're monetized, so this is something I keep in mind for the future. At the end of the day, I make my videos as long as they need to be. I do try to chunk information though, breaking it up with music, headings, visuals, and other cues, whatever I can do to keep my audience engaged.
I post almost every day. I'll tell you my schedule. On Tuesdays, I post a video that is 5 to 10 minutes long, plus I do a live stream class, which is about 2 hours long. Wednesdays, I post a short video, a 1-minute video, and the format is called Shorts, YouTube Shorts, and I do that on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, I post a video that is between 5 and 10 minutes long. On Fridays, I do a live stream class that is about 2 hours long. On Saturdays, I post a video that is between 5 minutes and 10 minutes long, and do a live stream class that's about 1 hour long. So Saturdays, I do a 1 hour live stream class. On Sundays, I post a video that is between 5 and 10 minutes long.
How often do I post videos? Well, like many YouTubers, I wanted to start posting videos once a week, or even more, but life gets in the way. So I think I post probably twice a month. Occasionally I'll get on a roll and do it every week for a month perhaps. But usually it's once, every other week. I think that's my schedule these days. The length of the videos can vary. I think I started off in doing shorter videos, 3 or 4 minutes. And then I was reading more about the algorithm that YouTube really wanted longer videos. So I experimented with that and started doing 8, 10 minutes. I think I have a few that are 12 minutes. But these days I've actually gone back and I started doing shorter videos. It's easier for me to write the scripts, and I think there's just, because of TikTok and the competition these days, a shorter attention span for viewers. So I've just gone back and started doing shorter length videos.
Well, in the early stages, I used to post a lot more. I was a lot busier on YouTube back in those days. I used to post almost weekly, I guess. But in recent years, I've kind of slowed down a little bit because YouTube has changed a lot. It's not as profitable as it used to be. And it's also quite saturated now with children's music. As I said, when I first started my channel, there really wasn't much stuff available. And now there's lots of stuff available. So it doesn't really make as much sense for me to post weekly anymore. So now I tend to post maybe once or twice a month.
Okay, so it varies considerably depending on the video. I'll tell you right off the bat that the video recording of a given video takes the shortest amount of time. The longest part is the video editing, and thankfully that's the part that I enjoy the most. I like to script my videos for my Mork Sensei channel because I want to be precise with my language for my audience, and I don't want to deal with any hums and ha's during the editing process. I also use the script to replace Google's automatic translation and use it with some adaptations on my blog. I have to create visual assets such as thumbnails and blog images, for which I use canva.com. I recently created a Bitmoji avatar that I can use in my thumbnails, which is not only a lot of fun, but actually saves me some time in editing because I don't have to grab a still shot of me that's somewhat flattering during a video or take a picture or anything like that. Now, uploading the video can literally take hours depending on where I am, depending on the internet bandwidth. And then after the video is uploaded, I have to add meta tags, descriptions, and links to typically royalty-free music and images that I use. And then there are other links to other videos, either in the description section below the video and or embedded in the video itself, and of course the end screen. So we're talking hours of work here, easily 10 to 20 hours per short video, but it can also be a lot more or a lot less. I find it's better if I don't think about it. As long as I'm having fun, it's all good.
I spent every day working on my videos for YouTube. So of course, I'm always answering comments. I'm always working on the next video. So what I do is I schedule videos ahead of time because I can't do a video the same day except for live streaming. Live streaming, that's when a live stream class, so I'm live, and so after I finish the live stream class, the video gets archived, and so of course the 2 hours I'm on YouTube doing my live stream class, I'm not doing production. However, I do have to plan ahead, of course, and do worksheets. I put together worksheets for the live stream class, so there's a lot of prep work, but not production work, except post-production. So after I finish my live stream class, I have to put in the timestamps. I have to tag the video. That means I have to put like metadata into the video. I have to describe what happened in the video. That's all written in the descriptions. And then I have to promote the video. So I post a link on Twitter. I post a link on YouTube, and on my channel, actually, there's a members part, or community, sorry, not members, but community on part of the YouTube homepage. So my actual website, my YouTube website, there's sections, and one section is called community, and that's where I can post messages to my viewers. I can post images, I can post videos, and so that's where I announce, okay, this is today's live stream class. For those who didn't see it, there's a link there with a thumbnail for them to be able to watch the live stream post live. Question, how many hours, right? So I can't tell you how many hours because it's every day. I'm working on my videos every day. I'm answering comments. I'm putting in, doing the back end stuff, tags and descriptions, things like that. Then of course I'm doing production. I'm thinking of language. I'm thinking of what's going into the videos. And so whenever I have free time, I'm always working on my videos. Yeah, so it's my hobby. It's my labor of love. So when I'm not working, when I'm not teaching classes, I'm working on YouTube. So it's nonstop. So I can't even tell you how many hours. I don't want to know how many hours. I don't want to know. Answering the comments is very important. That keeps me connected with my audience, with the people who are connected with me on YouTube, with my audience, my viewers, my students. I'm always working on YouTube. I don't watch television. I don't read books. I read the newspaper in the morning, but I don't have time to read novels. I don't have time to go to the movies or watch TV or watch Netflix. Nothing like that. So anytime I have any free time, I'm working on my YouTube channel.
I think I probably spend 10 hours or more, maybe 10 or 15 hours per week, if I had to guess. Because you're going back into your channel, if you have comments, you're answering the comments. And I've got one over-eager learner, and he writes great questions, so I always spend time writing him sentence examples and checking his sentences. And then going in and also putting subtitles on my videos. Those things take a lot of time. And then writing new scripts, and then filming. Editing, of course, takes a long time. I do that myself. So it just adds up. But I don't know, it's fun time. I enjoy all those processes. I really like especially the editing. That's a lot of fun.
In the early days, I used to spend a lot more time. I used to answer comments and things, etc., on YouTube. But now, content made for children has really been constricted now. So now children are not allowed to comment on videos. So that's really taken away a lot of time that I need to spend on it. I don't have to answer comments because comments aren't allowed. And also in the early stages, I used to be developing a lot more songs. So I used to spend a lot of time back in the old days. But now, I don't know, I spend maybe 3 or 4 hours a week. But now that my other businesses are starting to slow down, I kind of want to get back into doing it again. But not really for a business side, just get back to having fun again, because that's how I started the channel.
My camera is an older Canon G7X Mark II, which I've been using for years and I still love. The only downside is it doesn't have a mic port, but I usually shoot next to the camera, so it's yet to become an issue. I used a cheapy tripod for a while when I first started, and then I upgraded to this ring light, which I've rigged up with an iPhone lanyard and chopsticks taped together so I can suspend my iPhone over my camera and use it as a teleprompter. And then I bought this fancy table mount that allows me to film things by my table, which I'm using right now. And this I use mostly for my other channel though. And next I bought a backdrop setup, and the backdrops I use at present are, interestingly, shower curtains. They're both cheaper and look better, I think, than any backdrop fabric or paper that I've purchased before. I now have 2 giant softbox light stands too. It all takes up space, but I found that lighting is fairly important, especially if you primarily shoot weeknights when there's no light and you want consistency in your lighting. I try to get my stuff secondhand from Mercari, which is a peer-to-peer Japanese app, and I've tried it. Basically, I buy the cheapest stuff I can find on Amazon. I don't think you have to spend a lot of money. For my editing, I use Final Cut Pro on a MacBook Pro. Most of my plugins were free, but the one I did pay for was something called FCP-FX, which has a great skin smoother feature and quick and easy Ken Burns presets that I use for all my videos. After the skin smoother filter, I always apply Final Cut Pro's built-in noise reducer to my clips. There's air conditioning going on right now, so I'll probably use that here. And I use a lot of B-roll from pixabay.com or pixels.com, and I mentioned Canva earlier to do some of my graphics. And I get royalty-free music from a wide variety of sources. YouTube channels dedicated to royalty-free music, and sites like SoundCloud, Thematic, and ChillHop.
I have my MacBook, and it comes with Keynote. So I use Keynote, just the free software that comes with my Mac. The name is escaping me right now. I have 3 lighting rigs, 2 LEDs, and 1 box. It's like a light box. I'm not sure what they call it. I don't know the jargon for it, but I have 3 lighting rigs, I guess, rigs. Of course, I have my whiteboard here. I use a Rode wireless mic right here. That's Rode. And as for my camera, it's a Logitech Brio. I think it's Brio. And it's pretty good, but it's just a basic webcam. It's top of the line webcam. And yeah, and YouTube, the platform, the website actually has tools for editing and things like that. I have a nice office here that I could work on my videos. And then in my home, in my closet, I do my voiceover recording. So I'll do a video on Keynote, and then I'll do the voiceover in the closet with my Shure microphone.
I don't go too high tech. I use an iPhone, and I bought a new one, so I have a 13 Pro. Not so new now that we're on a 14. But this seems to work just fine, and I have a lighting kit, so it's just a kit that goes around the camera. I had big studio lights that I used for a while, but they're cumbersome, so I prefer the round circular lighting. I just have a mic attached that's right here to my iPhone, and it's on a tripod. And I just had to set up the bookcase behind me, and that's about all. I don't go too high tech. I've done videos out in the field where it's just a handheld, it's just me holding the iPhone. Those did okay. But you just have to put yourself in the right environment where you can still be heard using the mic. I haven't experimented very much. As far as software editing, I use iMovie because I'm a Mac user, so that's pretty easy to use. I suppose I tried using Premiere, but there's a little bit of a steep learning curve. I think if I spent more time, I could probably produce better videos. But for what I'm doing, I think iMovie pretty much covers everything I need. I also subscribe to a couple of different services for stock photos and another one that has stock photos and short video clips. So that came about, I think, last year. I started another channel called Think Big for Business for a new textbook, and I needed the video clips for that channel. So I bit the bullet and I pay for that monthly subscription as well.
Again, in the early days, I used to do all the illustrations myself. I used to draw them and scan them and color them in Photoshop. I'm not an illustrator, so it was quite time consuming. Now I have a couple of illustrators that work for my company that do my illustrations for me. I also used to do all the recording myself, which I don't do anymore. Now I simply just write songs, and I have someone that does recording for me. And I also have a composer that I work with sometimes to help me compose songs. Of course, I use my PC and a very simple studio I have here, nothing fancy. Sorry. And what else? Of course, I use my computer, and I use Adobe Premiere and Photoshop, and but I'm not really so much of a computer person. I just kind of like to make stuff.
Yes, well, obviously I've gotten better, and I think this is inevitable for anyone doing YouTube regularly. I think we all cringe when we look at our older productions. Mind, I still cringe now when I watch more recent ones too. I've discovered and learned new visual tools as I've discovered them and enjoy playing around with them. For that reason, I don't think my videos have a cohesive graphic style that would make for a tight brand impression, but I'm okay with that. I think I'd get bored if I felt compelled to use the same style all the time. And plus, you don't grow, you know? In terms of content, I started with the vision of creating videos of English language learning strategies, habits, and tips, but I don't feel the need to box myself into that area. I also plan to continue adding more CLIL content and may do some academic writing, vocabulary instruction, and even grammar. We'll see.
Yeah, yes, it has changed over time. I think, like anything, when we start out, we don't necessarily know that much what we're doing, and it's a trial and error process. We learn from our mistakes, same for our learners. And we also, you get exposure to other videos that are out there. You see what some of the top video creators are making, not just in language acquisition or language learning, but other channels on YouTube. So it's great to just see what other people are doing. I was inspired by some of the other channels I watched, not related to language learning, and seeing their cut-ins and how they were editing short, video clips, or how they were using images. So that inspired me to try out new ideas, try new things. Yeah, so I do that.
It's been a long time since I started the channel, and I used to do everything by myself. I don't anymore. I guess, I don't know. Like I said, it started off as a hobby, and then it kind of grew into a job. And now it's kind of reverting back to being a hobby again. So yeah, it's really changed a lot over the past 12 years. And I really don't know where it's going, but as I said, I'm just starting to have fun again, so I kind of want to get back to that aspect of it.
My motivation goes up and down quite a bit, but overall I enjoy creating the videos, so motivation's not really been a struggle yet. I think the hardest part can be coming up with good content ideas and planning them. If you fail to plan, I think you plan to fail. So once every 2 months or so, I sit down with myself and try to come up with ideas. I find it's a lot easier if I make like a video series, because then I can batch record and edit more easily that way. Right now I'm working on a TOEIC test prep strategy series that will consist of 7 a little bit longer form videos. Monetization potential does play an incentivizing role for me, although I'm likely the only person in this video who is still making zero money on this platform, on this channel anyway. You need at least 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 hours of watch time within a 1-year period to qualify for Google Ads on your channel. And monetarily successful YouTubers will tell you that the Google Ads is probably a small part of their income strategy. Even high-ranking creators can't support themselves with Google Ads alone, from what I understand. And I have about 2,000 subscribers now, but I don't have that many videos, and I haven't been uploading regularly, so it's probably closer to one video 2 or 3 weeks at the moment. Not the fastest pace if you want to grow your channel, but I do what I can. I stopped for over 2 months this summer, and when I was sick with COVID in 2021, I had a long pause.
I keep motivated from getting feedback from people who are watching my videos. People comment, tell me that they really like my videos. I get comments from other teachers who use my videos in their classroom from all over the world. So that keeps me motivated, right? I'm adding value to the world. Yes, I am creating a service for people to use around the world. So that is motivating. Of course, I get paid. I'm monetized, and so money is a big motivator, of course. I work part-time teaching. I have to teach, right? I can't just be full-time YouTube. That's not enough money. At the same time, I have the option to just work part-time. I can spend more time here in my office doing what I really love. So that's motivating. And like I said, helping people, making a difference. I really, really enjoy it. It's fun. I've been doing it for 11 years. I'm not burned out. I work every day, and I don't know why. I enjoy it, and I'm motivated, and I want to get better, and I want to grow bigger, and I want to make more money, and I want to reach more people. So I still have the drive, I still have the passion, and I don't see that ever finishing. I think what will happen, they will get sick of me before I'm sick of them, right? The thing is, it's a skill, right? And so you could always keep getting better and better. And so, of course, I want my videos to get better.
As a creator, I think what motivates me are the comments and the thank yous from viewers. People appreciate what you're putting out there, and some people don't really have access to a classroom, or they don't have the money perhaps, I don't know. And they really appreciate you giving them something, some lesson, something that will help them communicate or pass a test. I've had a bunch of different students, taking exams, and they'd ask me questions or make a video about this, and I'd make a video, and they're really thankful. That really helped me out. Now I understand the topic. So it's nice to know that you're contributing in some way. Also, my learners, although I find my students don't write comments at all, which was disappointing at first. That was demotivating for me, but I think a lot of them watch the channel, and they, based on the student surveys at the end of our class, they did write thank you, and I enjoyed the YouTube channel, and that was helpful to understand how English was used. So that was rewarding for me. Monetization, I think it's nice to be appreciated. I guess if you believe in capitalism, it's nice to know someone's going to reward you for your hours and hours of hard work. Yeah, that's a nice feeling. In my case, I'm fortunate. I've been monetized for a few years. I don't make a lot of money, but my income has slowly gone up each year that I've been a YouTube creator. So that's nice, and I think if it steadily goes up, great. It'll pay some bills, perhaps, down the line. But it's not what keeps me going. But it is nice that someone they are paying creators for our time. In my case, I have been approached by affiliate marketing groups or companies. They want to sponsor some videos, and I'm still kind of working through that and trying to determine if that's really worth it for me, if I want to give up that control. So I'm still working that out.
Like I said, I just started everything as a hobby. So the motivation just came from the desire to create something, to make something. I also have many friends that run YouTube channels, and we always kind of have a friendly competition with each other. So that kind of keeps me motivated. But overall, I just really enjoy making things, and that's kind of enough to keep me going.
I see myself continuing to get better at doing all that I need to do to grow my channel, better at scripting, better at filming, better at editing, etc. And I'd like to get new and better equipment and use more tools such as Final Cut Pro plugins and subscriptions to services that offer audio and visual assets. But at the end of the day, it's more the creator and not all the bells and whistles that make for a good video, I feel. And ultimately, I have to work on developing my own skills. I feel I need to learn more about strategies for choosing content that people want to watch and how to properly optimize my videos for search ability. I'd love to connect with other YouTubers actually to share ideas and knowledge. I teach myself most stuff via YouTube a lot of the time, but it's not always possible if you don't know what you don't know. My biggest obstacle, just like everyone else's, is time. Once I do have a bigger audience, which I do think will happen eventually, as long as I keep at it, however slowly, I might think about trying to get sponsorships and using affiliate links. I think that getting revenue will propel my motivation levels and help me get better equipment and access to tools. And it would be great to offer courses that I could charge people for even someday, but right now my audience is too small.
I just see it growing more and more, and I'm very, very excited that I'm on YouTube, and I'm moving forward with YouTube. It's exciting, and I'm just looking I'm on the ride, I'm on the wave, and we'll see when it stops. I don't see it stopping. I just see it getting bigger and bigger, more and more popular. The future is bright.
I think in the future, I hope my YouTube channel continues to grow. It seems like I'm on a good path right now. 2022 has been a great year for the channel. Membership keeps growing. And as I mentioned before, monetization, the ad revenue is increasing, which is nice. And more importantly, I feel I'm learning more about the audience and what they like, and also perhaps how to streamline my videos so they don't take me as much time, and I can get into a better routine where I don't feel the pressure of, oh, I'm going to shoot this video and it's going to take me, this long to write it, to shoot the video, film it, and then the editing process. And also for my other videos that I make for Think Big for business, I outsource those usually for editing because I simply don't have the time. So that has helped me out quite a bit, where I'm willing to pay a little money, some money for someone to edit that. And I have more time to work on my channel and my real job, which is teaching. As far as how the channel will survive in the future, nobody knows. It could be gone tomorrow. I really don't know. I think based on the last few years that YouTube seems to still be growing. As I mentioned earlier, there's more competition now with TikTok, and I'm sure there'll be other mediums out there in the future that will also threaten YouTube. But they seem to adapt with the times and the way that they handle the management and relationship with creators. Now that you have YouTube Shorts, and of course there's live stream. So there's other areas as it evolves into the future. I've said this for about a year, I'll probably do a live stream maybe before the year's up and just try that out and see how it goes. But again, it becomes a time commitment for me because I work full-time at a university. I'm also in charge of a language program, so I don't have so much time to give as a creator. I feel like in my current situation, I'm putting as much time into it as I possibly can without, threatening my livelihood at my university job.
I don't really know. As I said, I have multiple YouTube channels, so I'm kind of just dipping my toes into different markets now. Maybe want to make some content for adults, because that's the content for adults is not so controlled like the kids things. Like I said, kids channels don't allow comments, and it's quite restrictive now. So I don't know how my YouTube channel will evolve. It's probably more about how I will evolve as a creator, I guess.
There are tons of things I could have done better or differently, but I think it's all part of the process, and mistakes and crappy videos are inevitable for all of us, I think. You can always just delete and redo. So I've actually no regrets. Well, maybe just one. I wish I'd simply started earlier, as in like a decade earlier. I'd thought about starting a channel for many years, but was too afraid of sucking, too intimidated by all that I didn't know, and too self-conscious, worried that I'd look too old, too fat, too boring, and all that stuff. And I think the latter is something that particularly women are susceptible to. But the wonderful thing about being a middle-aged woman is you start genuinely to not give a rat's what other people think of you, to a certain degree. You're always your best, worst critic, though.
When I started YouTube, I had no idea what I was doing. I wanted my students to have more practice and see what the parents could see what we're doing in the classroom. So I went into YouTube not even knowing about monetization and how like other people would see my videos. I had no idea. I thought, okay, I'm making these simple videos just for my students and for their parents, without having any clue of monetization, of world viewing, like people from all over the world are going to watch my videos. I had no idea. I probably wouldn't have done it. If I would have thought about, oh yeah, my videos are going to be seen by people all over the world, I would have been too embarrassed. Like, oh, like my videos, the quality is too low, I'm not talented and I don't know what I'm doing and no one's going to want to listen to my voice. So I would have been all negative about it, and I wouldn't have done it in the first place. But being naive, how I am, most things I do, I go in it naively. And so thank goodness that I didn't know anything. And what I've done differently, well, it's really hard to say because as I have been making videos, I've been improving, right? And so in that growth, right? I needed it. I'm happy that I did it all on my own. If someone who wants to get into YouTube, make videos, and they have a business mind, and okay, hire people to do the thumbnails, hire people to do the editing, hire people to do the voice, right? That would probably be the good business way of doing it. But I'm happy the way it's turned out for me because I've learned on the way. I have improved as I have been making videos, and so I think we were talking about motivation before, and I feel that by seeing my own improvement, that's motivation. Instead of just being CEO, okay, you do this, you do that, then I don't really have a connection with all the artistic part of it, right? And so I think, of course, the business end of YouTube, right? Making money and how to make money on YouTube. But there's also the creativity part of it. Seeing your creativity on the screen and people positively commenting like, oh, I really liked your video. That was great. All my students really liked it. They like you a lot. And so that shows okay, I'm connecting with people from my creativity. I think that's real important. And for me, on my journey here on YouTube, so I wouldn't change anything. Of course, there's little things I would have, there's things I didn't know at the beginning that I know now, which I wish I would have done at the beginning, like descriptions, right? I wasn't describing my videos very well, and I wasn't taking time to describe my videos. So now I know how important that is, and so I spend more time thinking of how to describe my video for the audience and for the AI machine. But the whole having someone else do it who could do it better, right? A professional. I'm glad I did it all myself because I enjoy that, and perhaps that's why I'm still motivated to make videos and put all the time I do into it because I'm doing it. I can see, it's a hobby, and so why do people paint pictures? Why do people write books? Right?
I think I would have told myself, be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. That's the hardest thing to accept. You make a video and you think, wow, this is so good. And you edit it, splice it together, and you think, wow, the cuts are great. This is entertaining. And it doesn't perform well. And you feel like you need a pillow to cry on. You're like, God, why is this video not performing well? And then you'll have another video that it performs really well, perhaps. I've had that. And I don't know why. Something that viewers picked up on, the algorithm liked, and it did well. So it's kind of hit or miss. But you can look at your previous videos and really, if you try to learn more about going to YouTube Studio and you just learn more about how videos are monetized and how they perform, it really will help you out. And you try to focus and use YouTube's video links in Studio that will help you learn more about how videos perform. It will really help you. And thumbnails. I think making thumbnails that are appealing to viewers, that's very important.
No, not really. I don't really know what I would have done differently. I think in the early stages, I was kind of focusing more on ESL and EFL materials for children. But if you look at a lot of the channels for kids now, it's the channels that make regular content for native level speaking children that kind of get a lot more views. So I think looking back, I probably wouldn't have stayed so locked into the ESL market, I guess.
Okay, so I'll give you 5 points. One is feel the fear and do it anyway. That's a title of a good book that I read. Can't remember who wrote it, but I liked it. And instead of aim, shoot, fire, I'd think more about fire, shoot, aim. I think that learning to make videos is a bit like learning a language. You just have to get on with it and do it, and you will produce subpar stuff at the start. C'est la vie, just embrace it and take it as a learning experience. Number 2 is to make sure you're passionate about it. If you're serious about creating a channel that grows, you'll need to dedicate crap loads of time to it on a regular basis. So if you don't enjoy it, there's no hope that you'll continue with it because it does take a lot of time. Number 3, don't worry about the equipment. You can do just fine with a wee tripod and smartphone and a cheap or free editing software platform. Just teach yourself a little about lighting and sound. It's not really that complicated. And upgrade your equipment only when you're ready and when you can. Number 4, start with a niche topic that you could potentially expand out later. Being all over the place from the start with your content will do little to build an audience for you. Either stick with a defined niche from the start or expand from that niche later on and test it with your established audience. Number 5, don't expect to get monetized unless you have over 100 videos, and don't expect much money when you do hit that milestone. The number of people with YouTube channels continues to grow daily, so it's becoming a crowded space. But that doesn't mean you won't find success or enjoyment by starting your own channel. For me, YouTubing's been great so far, and I look forward to continuing. Whether creating a channel is worth your time or not will be entirely up to you.
My advice for anyone wanting to start a channel, do it. Don't wait. Just do it. I talk to people and they say, oh, I'm thinking about doing it. Don't think about it, just do it. And the earlier you get into it, the better off you will be. It's never too late to start. Earlier is better. So go ahead. If you want to start making your own videos, just do it. And you will learn on the way. Take your time and write good descriptions of your video, what's in your video, in a way that people can understand clearly and the machine, the AI, the analytics can understand clearly. That will help your ranking. That will help you promote your video on YouTube. And thumbnails are real important. Like the thumbnails, what people see, on the search. So when you're watching a YouTube video, on the right side, there's, up next, or, you have choices of what videos to see on YouTube. Those are thumbnails. And the better thumbnail you have, the chances are more people will click on your video. So thumbnails are very, very important. And also have consistency, right? So they know it's you. So when your videos appear on search, they know it's your channel, right? Whatever if you're on the thumbnail, if you have a logo on the thumbnail, if the style of the thumbnail, make it consistent so people can recognize your video easily. And you want to set it apart from the others. Someone sees a thumbnail that does well or a video does well, and they copy it, and it just becomes like an echo chamber. This is a loop, a loop, and so it just keeps going. And so you might want to be different. You might want to think. Might want to separate yourself from those. Don't think about the money, because you won't make money for a long time. So the motivation behind starting a YouTube channel should not be money, okay? Because if you think you're going to make money on YouTube, you will, but it's going to take years, okay? So I'm seriously, years. It has to be something you enjoy. It has to be a hobby. It's a great feeling when you're helping people. That it's a great feeling. It's the best, right? If it's money, then you're just going to get discouraged and you'll stop. Things that you do need: a mic. Microphone is very important, where someone can watch, maybe they'll watch a video that the production isn't that great, but if the sound has to be good and clear. So make sure you don't need to get an expensive camera. I don't have an expensive camera. My camera is like, I don't know, 80 bucks or something. And so you don't need an expensive camera, but you do need good sound. And of course, you have to have good content. So people go to YouTube for content. Your videos need to be able to help people. And so you want to meet people's needs. And if you can do that, and if you have fun, and you smile, you show love, you will do well on YouTube. So that's my advice. So good luck to you.
My advice for someone starting a channel: be realistic about your time. I went in thinking, I was going to upload a video once a week. Yeah, I can easily do this. And even, I think when I started, I did twice a week, a couple times. But the reality is, I just couldn't fit that into my schedule. So be realistic. YouTube is a big time commitment. And if you love it and you really want to do it, hey, go for it. I think that's wonderful. My hat's off to full-time YouTubers out there. I think it's great. In my case, it's more of a part-time endeavor and something as a hobby for me. I really enjoy the whole process. I like it. I like the fact that people appreciate it, and that's wonderful. And for my textbook, I think it's great that the students can use it, and I've used it in class as well, some of the videos, and then did extension activities, so it becomes a great teaching tool as well. If you can, just start with short videos that are not going to take you a whole lot of time, okay? And if you could have similar things that you could just plug in to a lot of your videos. In my case, oftentimes, I'm searching for video clips, I have to find photos. All of that takes a lot of time. So when I'm putting together the video, it does take hours of my time. So the simplest thing to do is just stick with one pattern to start off, and then just see how you do. And then see how many hours it takes you, if it can fit into your schedule. That's really the advice that I would give you if you're starting off. And you don't need, all this great equipment. I don't think you need a green screen to start off. I don't think you need a really nice camera. You could probably just use a smartphone, and you just need some decent lighting. You don't need anything great. YouTube is a vast array of channels. Some people have great equipment, you can see. Other people, it's just shooting themselves, with a background, or they're all over the place. So it's a wonderful medium. It has a bunch of different channels. You have to decide what fits for you, what fits your personality as well. What do you want to say? And I think if you're really passionate about your topic, I think that's really key. The viewer senses that. They know. If you're just mailing it in, I'm going to teach you about grammar today, no one's watching the video. But if you're excited, you're enthusiastic, I think the viewer really senses that. Try out new things and be yourself. I think that's my advice.
Things have really changed over the past decade, and YouTube is very saturated now. There's just so much content out there. So I think that if you're thinking about making $1 million by starting a YouTube channel, that you're kind of a little bit late to the game. So my advice would be, do something that you enjoy doing, and if it ends up making money, that's great. But if that's your focus, then I think you'd be better to focus on something else, maybe find another platform. But anyways, to round everything off, like I said, YouTube has changed a lot in the past decade, and anything that you want to make has probably already been made. So it's really not as lucrative as it once was. So if you really want to make a YouTube channel, that's great. I encourage it. But like I said, do something that you like to do, and hope it works. Yeah. Anyways, I hope that helps. And thank you for watching. And good luck to you. See ya.